Here's a Jeopardy kind of question for you. Who'd win in a fight between a boozy pirate and a warrior princess from Atlantis? Physically, our money's on the princess. Legally, however, everybody's favorite pirate wins by a mile. After 6 weeks of legal drama and shocking testimonies, the highly publicized trial between Amber Heard and Johnny Depp finally came to a close, clearing Depp's name. Wondering what comes next for the actor? Let's find out. Starting with Johnny Depp and the trial that cost him everything. For those of you who didn't follow the trial minute by minute, let's get you up to speed. Last we checked on the ex-Captain Jack Sparrow, he wasn't doing too well. Heard's op-ed in the Washington Post from 2018 practically kickstarted the end of an era for the Lone Ranger. If there ever was a time to use that reference, it's now. Because major Hollywood studios went from seeing him as a reliable hitmaker to avoiding him like the plague real quick. Of course, this isn't to say he was smashing the box office earlier. Depp's popularity had taken a plunge before he was ever caught up in a legal storm with his ex-wife. We mean, you don't need us to tell you just how bad Transcendence was. And don't even get us started on The Lone Ranger. The highly anticipated flick turned out to be a major disappointment for Depp fans. But can a handful of flops really end someone's career? And that too, someone like Johnny Depp? We don't think so. Have you seen Ryan Reynolds? Sure, he's charming and witty, but he gave us one flop after another before he scored the role of a lifetime playing the smart-mouthed Deadpool. We mean it. If you can begin counting his misfires, you'd run out of fingers. So we find it a little hard to believe that Johnny Depp's downfall had nothing to do with Heard's onslaught of allegations. Next, things get worse for Depp. It got worse when The Sun labeled him as a wife-beater. After losing his case with the tabloid, the actor had to give up one of the biggest parts he'd gotten since the legal nightmare began, the role of Gellert Grindelwald in the Fantastic Beasts series. Warner Brothers went ahead and recast its biggest villain. For those of you who don't know, Depp was replaced by the one-time Hannibal Lecter, Mads Mikkelsen. How the third part of the Harry Potter spin-off tanked is a story for another day. However, things got really bad when he was scrapped from a role he'd dedicated years to, the role of the infamous pirate, Captain Jack Sparrow. The boozy captain was inarguably Depp's best performance to date, but Disney didn't do so much as wait for the court's verdict before tossing him out of the 6th installment of the Pirates of the Caribbean series. FYI, he would have earned a whopping $23 million for the movie, but we all know he lost more than just money. He lost nothing less than everything. With Depp out of the legal trenches now, one question remains: will he get back everything he lost? So, what's Johnny up to now? Well, not everyone had cut him out professionally. Despite the serious allegations, Depp still had family, friends, and colleagues who believed in him. And even though you probably didn't see him on screen, apart from the trial of course, he wasn't completely out of the game. After the fallout, the actor switched to more behind-the-scenes gigs, like voicing cartoons for example. You'll hear his familiar face as Puffin in the mini-animated series Puffin's Impossible. It's actually a spin-off of 2020's Puffins, which by the way also starred Depp as the voice of Johnny Puff. So he's not all out of roles, you see. And we're not just saying that because of his little stint as a cartoon. The actor's also part of Jean du Barry, a French film directed by his co-star Mai Wen. In fact, according to reports, the movie was on sale at the Cannes market. Looks like Johnny switched sides right when Hollywood turned its back on him. Apart from his bruised career on screen, Johnny seems to be in the mood of mixing things up. Instead of picking up scripts, the actor's more into picking up a guitar and jamming his worries away. We're sure most of you noticed he wasn't physically in court when the final verdict was announced. That's because he was busy making a surprise appearance across England, playing with rocker Jeff Beck. Depp's love for music isn't something new though. He's been a part of a band for a while now. He plays with Alice Cooper and Joe Perry in the Hollywood Vampires. That's gotta be one of the weirdest band names ever. But you never know. Maybe Johnny gives up acting to pursue a career in music. He could use a fresh start. So, what's next for Johnny Depp? After weeks and weeks of going back and forth between the super alarming allegations between the two stars, the 7-person jury finally reached the verdict that Heard couldn't prove the allegations she'd made against her ex-husband, and the court awarded Depp $15 million in damages in his lawsuit. While that might make up for part of his financial losses, it was more about the truth and clearing the record for him. Now that the jury has given him his life back, as the actor put it, where's life gonna take him? So some say his return to stardom is a possibility, and by some we mean actual public relations experts. One of the experts believes that Depp will return to the big screen soon because he won in the court of public opinion. Looking at all the support he got from fans across social media, we might actually believe him. They think that now that he's put his side of the story out there, Hollywood won't see him as lethal as it did just a few years ago. Instead, they'll see him as someone bankable. Of course, the allegations were very damaging, and that might be the understatement of the year, but the verdict was strongly in his favor, and according to experts, they'll go a long way to restore his tainted reputation. Looks like he might already be on the road to redemption. So, what'll happen when the dust finally settles? settles. Sure, Johnny has scores of supporters right now, but what happens when things start getting back to normal, if there is such a thing anyway? While some experts believe he'll bounce back to his former glory in a few months, give or take, others are a little less confident about the actor's future in the film industry. Let's be honest, Depp didn't exactly come out of the trial unscathed. His personal life was split wide open in the court for 6 whole weeks, with testimonies about his erratic behavior, violent language, and misuse of alcohol and drugs. It doesn't look like he's going to recover from the blows anytime soon. According to one public relations expert, his brand might be too toxic for big franchises like Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean or other corporate-owned series, especially when there's a whole group of people who believe Amber's side of the story. Since Depp is the more successful high-profile actor in this situation, it's likely that the aftermath of a messy trial will affect his career far more than Heard's. For one, he probably won't be getting offers from any big-budget mainstream films, not in the foreseeable future anyway. Even though some directors might actually be on his side, it's likely that the rest of their team isn't and could easily refuse to work with him. Remember the whole hatchet scene with Woody Allen's autobiography? But then again, there's some hope for his career with independent filmmakers. We mean, if Mel Gibson and Kevin Spacey could get role in smaller films, who's to say Johnny won't? One thing's for sure though, it's possible that producers cave into his huge fan base and ultimately give us a big Depp movie after all. And finally, will Heard be able to pay millions in damages to Depp? Yes, Johnny won the case, but will Heard be able to pay such a huge amount? Unlike Depp, her career only recently took off with DC's Aquaman. Before that, her career basically was surviving on a bunch of supporting roles, and when the time did come for her to step into the main role with London Fields in the sultry Nicholas 6, the film turned into a legal battleground between the director and the producer, so she isn't exactly as loaded as her ex-husband. Now that the court has asked her to pay for defaming Depp, do you think she'll be able to? Doesn't look like it. On the very day of the verdict, Heard's lawyer appeared on NBC's The Today Show and announced that her client will not be able to pay the millions in damages. Surprise, surprise. FYI, she's not even supposed to pay the original $15 million because there's a cap on that apparently. As of now, Amber Heard has to pay only $10.4 million. The jury might have reached a verdict, but the legal drama is far from over, folks. And that about wraps up our video for today. What do you think awaits the Pirates of the Caribbean star after his victory? Will he bounce back to his former stardom? Let us know in the comments section down below. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.